This morning, we are taking a look at how children's books are addressing mental health issues in an age-appropriate way. And to walk us through a sampling of what's available is author and industry insider Vicky Van Sickle. Good to have you back with us here on Your Morning.
Thank you for having me.
You know, appropriate that we're talking about mental health. It's Blue Monday. We have Bell Let's Talk Day coming up.
Yep.
And it is never too young to discuss mental health with our kids. There was a thought at one point that it might frighten them, but I am happy to say my kids probably know more about mental health than even I did at their age.
I agree, and one of the things I found so interesting in making this list, and I was focusing on fiction mostly, I thought it was going to be difficult to come up with a lot of books, and in fact, I had the opposite problem, and then I had too many books and I couldn't include them all, which is a great problem.
I love that you've included all age ranges, and I want to start with these ones. These are for ages 3 to 5.
That's right. So the first one we have is What's Up, Malou, and that's a very sweet, gentle introduction to feelings of sadness, feelings of depression. It's about a little kangaroo who's lost his hop, and his friends notice, and it's very much about how your community and reaching out to people can sort of help brighten those darker days.
And the illustrations are beautiful in it, too. What about Grumpy Monkey?
So Grumpy Monkey Party Time is very funny. It's about Jim Pansy, who's invited to his first party and is quite anxious about it. And this is a very clever way of addressing social anxiety, which is something that's on the rise in children. And it's about sort of finding something else to focus on, realizing there's other things you can do, and the whole time kids are learning about this, they're going to be giggling hysterically.
One of the great things about kids is that they're so aware of their feelings, but they don't always have the language to attach to what they are feeling. And books like this one do a really great job. The illustrations in it also help with the idea of panic attacks. I mean, there's an incredible scene in this book where a child experiences one.
Yes, this is When Molly Drew Dogs, and this is about a girl who's always drawing black dogs, and it's sort of her way to personify the anxiety that she's feeling. And it talks a lot about how art can help, how there's other ways to express yourself. And again, it's not an overly frightening book. As you said, I think kids will recognize themselves in a lot of these stories and feel relief.
I want to move on to these last two here. Ping and then Big Boys Cry.
Yeah.
Great title.
So what I love about Ping is this is a very simple concept about how you can put a ping out in the world and you can't control somebody else's pong. So it's very much about emotional awareness, knowing what you can control and what you can't control, and learning how to deal with that. And then Big Boys Cry, what I love about this is one of the things that's damaging to mental health is when we tell kids things without really thinking about it. So boys don't cry is something I think people still say. And this is about a boy who's trying to suck it up, and then throughout his day he notices a lot of grown men who are crying about different things. And when he comes home at the end of the day, his father's like, you know what? I told you the wrong thing. I was upset. And then they both cry together. So it's a very sweet story for both the parent and the child, I think.
Powerful to read together. I'm going to put this one up because it fell down. But this is the next age group. This is the one that my kids are in.
Yes.
And we'll talk about this book, but then I want to talk about the second as well.
So the first one we have there, this is middle grade for ages 8 to 12. This is the Reluctant Journal of Henry Kaler.
It does not want to stand up.
He's reluctant to stand up. And this is a really interesting story about a boy who's had an incredible trauma in his family. He's in therapy, and the book is written as his diary. So it talks a lot about the therapeutic process, what it's like working as a therapist, and how you can get over trauma and grief in a family.
It tackles all of those sort of frontline issues.
And it's hilarious. Most importantly, it's hilarious.
See, it's important to laugh at this. Okay, O.C. Daniel is one that my kids' teacher had them read. They came home talking about, with such great language, on mental health and mental illness, and like language and knowledge is power for them. It's a really great book.
It is. It's also a fantastic mystery, but it talks about a kid who sort of doesn't understand that he has OCD. Throughout the book, he realizes that's what it is, but it really puts you in the physical space and the headspace of what it must feel like for a kid who's in that situation.
And some kids with anxiety can also have OCD, so it's not uncommon to children. Guts by this author is amazing.
I mean, this is a book that people will have seen everywhere. Graphic novels are incredibly popular, but what people might not realize is that this book in particular, although a lot of graphic novels, deals with social anxiety. It's the physicalization of anxiety. Raina Telgemeier is so sweet and gentle. She draws on her own experience, and because it's illustrated and fun, kids of all ages can sort of get into that and truly feel seen.
And both genders, too. It's a really great read. I don't want to forget our older teens. We have about a minute or so left.
So I have 3 here. These are all 3 Canadian books. They're all major award winners. And the thing that actually they have in common is it's about teenagers who discover that they can still fall in love, they can still have relationships. In high school, that becomes really important. And just because you're having to deal with something like mental health, we have OCD, we have schizophrenia, we have a lot of different things here, it's not going to hold you back from having a full life.
Vicki, you always give us such a great range of information to help our kids, to help us choose what to buy when we go to the bookstore. But I want to just take a second, because I know you'd be too humble to mention it. You have your own book, a brand new children's book. This is a surprise to you. It's publishing tomorrow. It is this one.
Yay.
Teddy Bear of the Year. Congratulations.
Yes,
Tell us about it.
Thank you so much. So I wanted to take the idea of a Teddy Bear's Picnic and give it a service award spin. And it's very much about the bears who are discovering that the little things that they do for their kids can have a big impact.
Well, congratulations for it. We will look for it. Teddy Bear's Picnic?
Teddy Bear of the Year.
Teddy Bear of the Year.
Yes.
Thank you so much, and congrats again.
My pleasure.
From Your Morning.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We will be right back. Let's get those ones in. Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.